There are three major philosophical questions. Where do we come from? Where do we go? And what is our purpose here? Death has always been our first curiosity. We use burial sites as our record of religion. And the ability to experience time in three ways as memory, imagination, and the ever fleeting moment of now seems to be unique to the human species. No other animal grapples with its mortality with such stress. We bond so deeply with our families and our communities that the reality of our mortality fills us with this existential dread. And it's our biggest challenge to reconcile the temporary meat existence against our infinite selves. And the fear of death has been a driving force in human behavior through all of history. Death is the only guarantee that we have, and it's the only thing, well, not the only thing, but it's a thing that we can't control or predict. And there's a relational psychology question that's like, how do you feel about the dark? And that means, how do you feel about death? How do you feel about the unknown? Because the truth is, we can't know. But when we learn to distinguish what we can and cannot control, we can feel empowered in all situations. By living in a way that we're proud of, we're able to comfortably hold death as a possibility. And this is a practice. This isn't like a magical, like, oh, okay, I'm okay with dying now. No. When we learn that we affect people, we have the potential to affect the course of humanity. The animal drive to reproduce and leave behind offspring is amplified by our multidimensional consciousness. Many of us want to leave behind a legacy that's far beyond our lifetimes. We have to reconcile the balance between understanding and honoring our history and taking steps to creating lasting change. Once we're able to digest our mortality, we're able to take on our worldly responsibility with wholehearted, meaningful devotion. When we get to the quantum physical level, things get so small that we can't even talk about structures. We can only talk about statistical probability of where quantum particles are. There's another theory that things are loop waves at the smallest level. We honestly don't have any clue what's going on. One more thing I want to touch on is the purpose of dying, of the process of dying. As somebody that has enough air placements and has friends with enough air placements, I know there's this fear of being a burden, but I'm going to say that that's a little bit ableist, because we all fall apart. Our bodies will fall apart. Our brains, like that's part of the temporariness of this existence. The purpose of the process of dying is to show others how to die. It's an opportunity for us to embody grace at a moment that we won't know until we get there. There's no other way for us to learn about death than through the dying. One more thing. Conceptually, time is the fourth dimension of the universe, length, width, height, depth, and then time. And we also know that once particles reach the speed of light, they no longer experience time. I don't know. Make of that what you will. I don't know how to... Physics is not my science.